There's some benches there. If you cannot sit on the Sunita, do you need some cushion? Thank you. Tabu kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhiriditam kalmasapam Shravanamangalam Shri Madatatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Burida Janaha. The nectar of thy words is the life for those who are scourged by the world. The words which have been uttered by the knowers of truth, which wipe out sins, the very hearing of which is beneficial, pleasing to the ears, pleasing to the hearts, which are inexhaustible. Those who recount them on the earth are the givers of plenty. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Stories of the Vedanta Monks. We are studying Swami Saradeshananda, recorded by his attendant Swami Shuklatmananda. Swami Saradeshananda was a disciple of Holy Mother and also attendant. Nearly 5-6 years he lived with Holy Mother. He was a very traditional monk. Yeah, an ideal model. Swami Shuklatmananda says that Swami and myself, we are in the same room. I had another cot because he needed help. He practiced japam and meditation so much in his life that his finger all the time is like this. So the attendant had to come and pull his finger to straighten them out. So the knees, they have to pull their knees, his knees. Sometimes he used to say, I ruined my own life by practicing these severe austerities. He was very courteous. If any foreigners, some women, if they would come to see him, then they wanted to sit on the floor. No, let's sit on that bed, on that cot, which was the attendant's cot. Then very small room, no furniture there. There is a chair there and a cot. Whenever any devotees would come, he would greet them and always give some prasad, some mishri, some small rock candies, he used to give them. He writes that once there was a feast, and some devotees, women devotees, are seated in the veranda next to his room for food. They sit, on the floor. So he noticed that I was avoiding women. Then he told him, listen, avoiding women will not help you. Think of them as your mother. Do not hate them. Then you will never get escape from the Mahamaya. I remember I saw one monk also like that. Then I told him, you are avoiding women, but you see, monks do not come from the womb of the monks, they come from the womb of the women. then all laughed. Monks do not come from the womb of the monks. Swami said that he was telling his own story that once I saw a little boy was going, he is from Sylhet, at that time it was in India, now it is in Bangladesh. But I saw a little boy was walking, I just ignored. Later on it came to my mind, there is a pond there, that boy may fall. Actually that boy fell there in the water. But I rescued that little boy. Power of adjustment. I saw a monk who was from the western part of India, and generally they eat bread, chapatis, all these things, seldom rice. But when he came to Puri, he was eating rice soaked into water. In our part of the country, they do not waste. In summertime, if you keep with no refrigerator, if you keep rice outside, it may be bad. In summertime, they put it into water. And then they mix with coconuts and some yogurt and salt and all these things. That sometimes they use it as a breakfast. So he says, I asked that monk that how are you adjusting? Well, wherever I go, I adjust. When I traveled all over India without a penny, sometimes I got food, sometimes I did not get food. Whatever I got, I accepted. A beggar should not be a chooser, that he said. I shall eat that one, I shall not eat that one. No. But if some food is injurious to your health, do not take it. I did not know where shall I get my next meal. This is the way some monks test themselves. Dependence on God. Let me see whether God provides everything or not. As Krishna says in the Gita, Yogakshemam bhamyam ananyaschintanto yeyana mam purjupasate tesham nityabhijuktanam yogakshemam bhamyam. Those who think of me, depending on me solely, I provide everything, their food, their necessities. That he said. Then he was telling that I was thinking, young man, I wanted to play badminton with the doctors and some friends. Swami discouraged me. Well, some of the householders you will mix and you will chat and it is not good for you. He said that a woman, she did not want to marry. She used to come to Swami, and her parents are trying to force her to get married. Then Maharaj told her, you are grown up, you are educated, you are working, you should make your decision. Not that, somebody forced you to do that, it is your choice. That girl, never married. Well, one young man says, Maharaj, when I was 8 years old, I used to tell that I shall never marry. Maharaj says, never be proud of it. Some people think I have conquered the last, they fall. Never, never, never be proud. Mahamaya can trap a person at any time. Be careful, you are working on the sharp edge of a razor. You see, Mahamaya's Maya play is inscrutable. One day Swami was taking a flask from his room to the monk's quarter in the kitchen to get milk for the Swami. But on the way he was talking to a doctor, and the doctor's son took that flask and dropped it in the hand and broke it. And he was very upset. In Vrindavan, you cannot get the flask and all those things anytime, all the time. So he was very sad, and then Maharaj consoled him. Listen, I used that flask for 20 years. A devotee gave to me. And I heard the whole thing, and you were trying to avoid me. But the head Swami, Trivikramananda, says that he can fix it. He can fix it taking to Delhi. So it will be fine. Don't be upset. Swamiji one day happened, a glass broke from Swami Vivekananda's attendant from the hand and broke. And he was very upset. Swamiji says, it goes that way. A glass does not die from cholera or tuberculosis. So, but one should be very careful, that's all. A sadhu, always be very vigilant, very careful. That he was talking about. In this connection, I still remember when I was in Belur Math on Swamiji's birthday, my duty was always on Swamiji's room, morning till night. Swamiji's used cups, I saw made in Czechoslovakia, nice cups, plates, dishes. We used to give breakfast to him, lunch, dinner, and every few hours we used to give cigarette to Swamiji. I still remember you need to burn the cigarette and hold and put it there. Cigarette will burn on his desk. At night time, Swami Saradeshananda used to come and say, "Hey, is there any cigarette prasad left?" Uncle Marasama left, so he used to take. I remember in Hollywood, one nun came. In Hollywood also, we used to offer cigarette. Swamiji's breakfast in Hollywood, first orange juice, then a little cereal, then 2 pieces of toast with orange marmalade, 2 fried eggs, 2 cups of coffee, and cigarette. So devotees would bring all big, all fancy cigarettes for Swamiji. So sometimes we used to burn the cigarette and put in Swamiji's mouth. So one nun asked me, "Swami, could I have a little cigarette prasad?" I can give you cigarette, but on condition. What is the condition? You will have to meditate whole night. Then I shall give you 1 pack cigarette. Look at Swamiji. Thakur was in Kashipur Garden House. Swamiji said, "Today I went home, my mother made deer meat. And I ate that meat. I am going to Dakshineshwar. Whole night I shall meditate." The energy he got, then energy he used to use for meditation, for his spiritual life. Oh, I was talking about that. You know, all the cups in place, how I used to be careful. And there was a cement and what is called a platform, something, and here is a tap. And the tap was connected with a cloth, something. So the water will slowly come. And I used to put 3-4 layers of towels, soaked towels, on the cement floor. And then with soap, I used to clean those cups and glasses and plates, so that if it falls from my hand, it will be on the what is called those towels, soft towels. It will not break. And very slowly, gently, we have to be so careful to keep those things, because those are used by Swami Vivekananda. Well, my mind was very restless. I was a very restless person. Maharaj, he asked this mother's disciple, Maharaj, could you bless me so that I could be very calm and quiet? But then Swami said, in my life I have only blessings, no curse. But only Ashirvad, my blessing will not work. You will have to acquire your competency that you are recipient of my blessings. Restlessness, that is the nature of the age. You are a young boy, he was in his late teens. Now go this way. When you grow up, when you grow, you will get hit from the others, and this way your ego will be crushed and dhakka khao. You get blow, then slowly you will come down. I lived with him all these years, but I never saw him angry. But one day I noticed জোরে কাউকে কিছু বলে, কিন্তু এখন সন্দেহ বসে তাকে জিজ্ঞেস, মহারাজ আপনি কোন চর্চা যান কেন? When the Maharaj was very loudly and vigorously said something to a person, but I never noticed that you were so calm, quiet, but today why did you become angry? You lose your temper. But no, I did not lose my temper. But why did you shout and yell to that person? But I did it purposely. Do you know why? Because if I would speak in a sweet, my voice, it would not penetrate inside him. So I vigorously and loudly I said, so that he will remember. But this sharp word will penetrate inside him and he will remember. Otherwise, if I very slowly, mildly, if I would say, he will forget. I saw Swami Saradeshanandaji. He was so loud and to the devotees and scold them right and left. And if Swami did not scold, they would think that Swami would leave this world very soon. They are all eager to get Swami's scolding. Mr. Bush, keep quiet. Yes, Swami. We have all kinds of Swami. I was to tell one of our devotees, he used to go to Swami Onkaranandaji. Uncle, where I speak in such a sweet way, nice, and you go to that Swami to get a scolding. Maharaj, his scolding is blessing. Through his scolding, he is destroying my karma. Uncle, all right, all right. I cannot just scold people. Very difficult for me. A young man, a monk came to see Swami. Maharaj was very fond of him. Then Maharaj said, you go and visit some temples in Vrindavan. Oh no, Maharaj, I have seen many times. I have come here just to see you. Maharaj again requested, you must go visit some temples in Vrindavan. Then again he refused. Then he told his attendant, ask him to leave my room right now. He became very excited. Ask him to leave my room right now. That monk got frightened. So he asked his attendant, did I make any mistake? But tell me, what shall I do? Then the attendant said, you go and visit a couple of temples and then come and tell the Swami, I visited some temples. So he did it. But Maharaj will be very pleased. Then again, Maharaj was very cordial to him and talked to him. Then do you know what he said? দেখো কোনো তীর্থস্থানে গিয়ে তীর্থ দেবতা দর্শন না করে চলে গেলে তাকে অপমান করা হয়. You came to a holy place and without visiting that deity, if you leave that place, that means you are disrespectful to that deity. You have come to Vrindavan, a birthplace and playground of Krishna, and without paying any respect to him, and you are just going away. It is very bad. আর একবার অনেক সাধুকে বলা যায় এ কি বিধর্মী নাকি বলে দিস পার্সন ইজ without seeing the holy place, without seeing the deity, is he an atheist or what is it? If he does not listen to me, he should not come and see me. You know, if you do not live with these monks, it is very difficult to understand what is called real spiritual life. I told you that when before joining I was in Benares. In Benares Vishwanath temple, you know, you just go, stand, push in, push out. You can just touch the deity and the crowd will force you out. So I was forced out. And one of the disciples of Holy Mother was my guide. He took me outside, and there was a marble bench by the side of the wall. So he asked me, you sit here, and 15 minutes you think about that short momentary visit of the Lord Shiva, and you repeat your mantra and think of the deity. Then you will get deep impression in your mind. So whenever people would come, I always ask, please go to the shrine, bow down to the master. Or when we used to go to Belur Math, first we used to visit Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Swamiji, Brahmananda's temple, then we would visit other Swamis. First, as Christ says, first seek the kingdom of heaven, and everything shall be added unto you. This is very, very important. How to visit a holy place. There was a monk named Nrisingha Vallabh Goswami. He was a great scholar. I think he translated Leela Prasanga into Hindi. But he was in his last stage. and staying as a patient in our hospital. And Swami always would ask his attendant, I want to hear how he is doing. Every day, please go and see him and give me the news. So one day he was reluctant to go. He was saying, if I be strong enough, I would go by myself. That is the reason I was asking you to go. Maner মান দিতে হয়. If a person, a respectable person, you must pay respect to that person. It is reciprocal. As we find Sri Ramakrishna used to go to see Vidyasagar, Keshav Sen, Devendranath Tagore. They are all respectable persons. Sri Ramakrishna used to go and respect them, and they used to respect him. And sometimes I feel bad once. When I was in college, third year, fourth year, I still remember I used to live in Mahatma Gandhi Road and Central Avenue in that junction. From there, Swamiji's house only 3-4 blocks, 4-5 blocks. I never went to see his two, in early 50s. Easily I could meet Swamiji's two brothers and can be close to them. I read Swamiji, I will not have to go to anybody. Vivekananda fanatic. Easily I could meet them and listen many stories about Swamiji from them. No, later they died in late 50s, and later on I lamented, I couldn't go to see them. From Swamiji's house, how many times by tram I passed through? Never went to their home. I used to go to Udbodhan. But once I had malaria, so I was separated from Swami's room to other room. But I used to see he used to come holding a stick in his hand to see me every day. And I was so moved. Here is an old Swami mother's disciple has come to see me. One day I was decorating, it was Holy Mother's birthday celebration, I was decorating the shrine, but due to my carelessness, there was one tanpura, that string musical instrument, was hit by me and it fell and broke. So I was very upset, and I was hiding myself on the roof of the building. And Maharaj sent people that, where is he gone, where has he gone, where has he gone? At last they found me. And then they brought me to the Swami. Maharaj said, it is all right that Secretary Swami said that it just moved it can be fixed. So don't be upset. If you want to see a great man, you see your little things in his life. How he behaves with servants, cooks, trains. The person who is great, his everything is great. His small things are also great. This Swami was talking about. If you want to judge a person's character, life, you just watch his little things, how he works. always creates the hunger for God. But sometimes some devotees would come, Maharaj, could I buy something for you? Could I buy something for you? He says, I have everything. Why do I need more? Then this attendant told the devotee, came from Delhi, I think, well, buy a bowl for Swami, because his bowl is too old. And it is repaired, it is fixed, it is not a new broken, but fixed. Bas, he heard about it. He said, Maharaj, he offered, I asked them to bring the bowl. What? Right now you go to the devotee and say that I don't need this bowl. Never ask anything on my behalf. Santosher saman gun nai. There is no greater quality than contentment. They have not left here the ashrama. Go, run and tell them that I don't need that bowl. So I went and said, Maharaj asked not to buy it. If anybody would come to see him, he never returned. Maharaj was not well, so when I saw some devotees are coming, I pulled the screen in front of in his door so that nobody could come near him. So Maharaj, but I told Maharaj, a devotee came and bowed down to you from the veranda. What? Right now go bring the devotee inside. A person has come to see me and I shall, it is I am disrespect to human dignity. That means I ignored that person. These things are very, very important, human dignity. You must pay respect. But I ran and brought the devotee and he came to the room and bowed down to the Maharaj. But Maharaj was eating lunch and a woman physician wants to go back to his home for vacation, wanted to bow down to Maharaj before leaving. So I asked him that Maharaj is eating, he cannot see you. Bas. Who came? Why is he? What for? Well, Maharaj, he wanted to come. She wanted to come and bow down to him. He was going for vacation. No, bring her back. So I brought that doctor back. Upanam korbe. When he bowed down, he gave some prasad to that doctor. He is kritogata. He was so grateful that Swami, that he received me. It is so important. That is called real love. Once I have, the Brahmachari says, that once I had a very verbal fight with another monk in front of the Swami. Swami listened to everything, then when both separated, then Maharaj said to him, go now and bow down to him, he is senior to you, and beg forgiveness. Maharaj, you see, I am not fault, it is not my fault. Whatever it may be, I am asking you to go, bow down and beg forgiveness that you lost temper. Listen to me, you will get the benefit. He went and knelt down, bowed down and begged forgiveness. Then he said, "Arey, if we live together, this sometimes happens, don't mind, they embrace each other." And then Maharaj explained, do you know why? In this fight, both of you, your minds are agitated. And what will happen, do you know? It will ruin your meditation. There are three kinds of meditation. The Sattvic meditation is on God. Rajasic meditation is on money, enjoyment. And Tamasic meditation is on the enemy. How can I kill him? How can I destroy him? They are Tamasic people. They meditate. They always think others, how can I do harm to that person? Sometimes you see, anger, time passes so long, anger. He is telling that thing. No. It is very, very important how to maintain your equanimity of the mind. Samattam yoga uchyate. Equanimity of the mind is called yoga. I remember Swami Bodhatmanandaji. Once in the dining hall, he had a very strong, loud voice exchange with another Swami. He was also Mother's disciple. Bodhatmanandaji was Mahapurush Maharaj's disciple. So his name was Swami Gangeshanandaji. Bas. It is a very small thing that old Swami made some kind of remarks about the brahmacharis of the training center. And he was just like our mother, protector. Bas. Swami said, don't think they are orphans. You can scold them and criticize them. They dedicated their lives for Thakur Ma Swamiji and they are serving us. When service some wrong thing happened and he is scolded. But next day I saw in the morning, this Swami Bodhatmanandaji went to Swami Gangeshanandaji's room and knocked. Swami came out. He fell at his feet. Maharaj, please forgive me. He started during last time, I lost my temper. I am not supposed to do it. Please forgive me. And then they embrace each other. Hey, don't do it, just forget it. Maharaj, this thing happened during lunch. My evening I did not get meditation. In the morning I did not get meditation. I lost 2 meditations. I cannot wait anymore. So I came to beg forgiveness. He told me, in spiritual life, this is very, very vital, very, very important. Growth pushe rakbe na. Don't hold it. Then he was asking the monks, Prasthanotraya podbe. Prasthanotraya. Gita, Upanishad, Brahma Sutra. These 3 books a monks should read with Shankara's commentary that he was encouraging. So there was another Swami he was the accountant in the hospital, Priyabratananda. So he used to come sometimes and give massage to the Swami and give some service. So he gives such a beautiful massage that Swami would fall asleep. So he said, Maharaj, now I will have to be the cashier. The new job they asked me to do. So Maharaj was telling, let me give an advice. Listen carefully. Always keep a notebook. When you give money to anybody, first you write down and then pay. And when you receive the cash, first put the cash inside the box and then write down. Then, at the end of the day, when you will reconcile your cash and your ledger, your accounts book, you will see it will be it will be reconciled very easily. Then he said, Maharaj, are you an accountant or a cashier any time? No. But I learned from a cashier. He says that how to maintain cash without any problem. I think it is Ramakrishna and Swami Chetanananda. He also, I think Ramakrishna, he cash, he did not reconcile. so some few annas difference. Then long time he tried to reconcile, his counting again and again. He did not get the reconciliation. Then he wrote in his notebook, because of 2 annas or 3 annas short. I don't know where it has gone. I could not study it. So it has gone somewhere. He wrote down in the accounts book. I remember in Untitled Ashram, sometimes when the visiting Swami would come to buy something in Calcutta, so he brought 5,000 rupees cash and gave to our cashier Swami, because he has a vault there, he will lock it. So what happened, he misplaced that money. That Swami moving around and he could not figure it out where he kept it. Several days he had no sleep, because the monk doesn't have any money. How shall I get 5,000 rupees? It is not there. Then he was in deep trouble. Then finally he searched and found somewhere it was there. So sometimes Swami used to get various kinds of gifts. I remember when I used to send him money sometimes, $1,000 or something like that, for his food and for his living. The moment money will come, in his room there should not be any penny. It will go to the office. There is called Sadhu Seva Fund, monastic fund, from where all their food, their necessities, clothes, all these things will come. All money will go there. And if any other clothes and anything come, he says, give away to the monks. But if you wish something, if you need, keep it. He told his attendant. And boja barley, to maintain it, সময় চলে যাবে. If you have too many commodities in your room, to pack it, to keep it, this and that, you will lose a lot of time. There are some people, one man, 2-3 cars. I know a man, he has 18 credit cards, all the time in the shopping mall. So 100 clothes, pairs of suit, because I have money. Compulsive buyer, restless. Give away to the poor people. Sometimes I have so many clothes, sometimes I become angry. Sometimes when some people want to buy things and come, look, I'll have to burn 3 times the clothes I have. It's a bondage. Too many belongings, you know. Oh, buy another thing, buy another thing. It is not very good. Take what is necessary. Accumulation is not good. One of our devotees was telling me, Swami, my wife is very expensive. She is always in the shopping mall. What can I do? One day Maharaj was seated on his bed and hanging his feet. I was putting socks, and then I put my head near him and said, Maharaj, please bless me. Maharaj put his hand on my head and he was laughing and laughing and laughing. Why are you laughing? I'm just telling you, I am blessing so that you can serve me well. One day I had headache, the attendant said. And Maharaj said, hey, my knee is in pain, why don't you give a little massage to my knee? Well, Maharaj, I have headache. Well, if you give massage to my knee, your headache will go away. Well, what do you mean? Well, when you will press my knees, some of your attention will go there. And then I shall talk to you, then you will forget your headache. And moreover, you will definitely get a result if you serve somebody. One day, the brahmachari says, I was memorizing the Gita. He said, no, that will not work. You do not know Sanskrit well. Your pronunciation is not correct. Only memorizing the thing will not help you. Let me tell you the secret. Every day you take 2 or 3 verses and learn every word, onnoy, breaking, word by word meaning. And then you will know the pronunciation well, Shondi, how to break the words. And in this way, couple of times if you go through the Gita, then when you chant, when you read, when you memorize, your pronunciation will be correct and you will get the meaning. You do not know the words, only memorization will not help you. But when I was in training center, one of my friends, he was from Kerala. He had a method of memorizing things. Do you know what he would do? 12th chapter of the Gita. 20 verses are there. If you repeat quickly, it will take 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, there will be 20 verses of the Gita. You close the door and just take the Gita and repeat 1 hour, 12 times. Next, in the evening, afternoon, again 12 times. Again, next day also 12 times, 12 times. 48 times if you repeat, those words will come to your lips. He said, this is the I memorize. I may not know the meaning, but I memorize. I can tell you what is there. Well, I saw the 84 aphorisms of Bhakti Sutra of Narada. He memorized everything. Same thing, Vivek Sudamani, memorized. He may not know the meaning, but he can repeat. Everybody has his own method. I remember I memorized chapter 2 to 10, Gita. Isha Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, Katho, Sam, and Mundaka. 4, 5 and some portion of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, I memorize. But if you do not practice, then you lose it. Avritti Sarva is necessary, repeating again and again and again. Otherwise you forget. Then he says, let me tell you one verse of the Bhagavad Gita, which will be very helpful for your monastic life. Trividam narakaisidam daram nasanamatpanaha kama krodhas tatha lobha tasmat etat trayam tyajet. These are the three enemies of spiritual life: lust, anger, and greed. These are the three gates of hell. These three, it will destroy spiritual life, monastic life. Remember this one. Memorize this verse. But the attendant says, but it is hard to say that when these things come in our minds. Then he says, some comes because of the previous life samaskaras. If a bad thought comes, that doesn't mean you are a bad person. It comes over the mind according to, for the reason, in holy company, holy situation, holy atmosphere, temple, with bad thoughts do not have any chance to come. It depends upon where you are. And practice. In this connection, there is a verse in the Viveka Chudamani. Lakshachutam ched yudhichittam ishat. If you have a tennis ball in your hand and you are in the 4th floor and all of a sudden the ball slipped from your hand and it will roll over the steps one after another. Until and unless it goes to the bottom basement, that ball will not stop. So immediately, when a bad thought, anything comes, jump and, if a ball slips from your hand, jump and grab it. 1 or 2 steps, just jump and grab it, so that it may not go to the bottom that he was talking about. So you need an effort to stop it. Otherwise, later on you will lament, oh, where I am fallen. Moreover, he says, Vivek, when a person first does anything wrong, his shame comes. His conscience bites. He does not listen to the conscience. I'm not doing right. I'm not doing right. Or some people may, out of ego, I have full control. Never be proud. They fall. He is talking about pitfalls in spiritual life. Two important Swamis came to visit him and he said, I know you people, they're the executive heads of in the headquarters. I know you people are busy. Do you get some time in the morning and evening for your meditation? Well, Maharaj, not that every day, morning we manage, but evening always not. And sometimes it is very difficult. Some kind of emergency, many things come in our headquarters. Well, at least before you go to bed, sitting on the bed, at that time think about Sri Ramakrishna. Sharan Manan, recollectedness of the Master is very important. Trials, tribulations will come, problems will come, you will have to face them. I told you that story, that once Swami Gambhiranandaji asked me, I was in Hollywood at that time, how many problems do you have? Then I said, Maharaj, by Master's grace, I do not have any personal problem, but I have to face the devotees' problem and the centers' problem. Then I asked him, Maharaj, how many problems do you have? Oh, you want to know my problems? He told me, yes. Every day I open the mail, I get 30 to 35 problems. Because all centers, all monks, all problems go to the headquarters. So I get 30 to 35 problems every day. Then I asked him, that how do you manage? The Master helps. And some problems, the time solves. Time factor is there. I remember one day I was asking Swami Saradeshanandaji. I saw it at 11 o'clock at night, he was writing his diary. I said, Maharaj, why do you like diary? Why do you write diary? The diary tells me the world is not real. I said, how? No, do you know what? 7 days ago, there was something happened. And I was so upset, I was just like falling apart. And now I opened that entry, I saw it is so silly, very negligible things. And I took it so seriously. The 7 days ago, the thought was disturbed me very much. Today I see that thought that is nothing. It shows the world is not real. Swami Brahmanandaji's method is very good. If you come with a problem, my stomach is not good today, you come tomorrow. Next day, my mind is not working today, you come tomorrow. In this way, you will harass you again and again. We create problem, only we can, the thing which I have done, only I can undo it. You can undo your karma, I cannot undo your karma. The thing which I have done, I can undo it. That is the way it goes. Then there is a test of faith and love and self-surrender. Well, it's suffering, pain, problem, they come. Dukkhena gurunapi vichallati. Well, those who have faith in God, then trials, tribulations come, cannot shake them. I sometimes give this illustration of Sri Ramakrishna. When a steamboat passes through the Ganges with tremendous speed, then it creates so much waves in both sides of the river. If it is a small boat, a fishing boat, that poor fishermen have a small boat, they cannot withstand that kind of wave, they sink sometimes. But big barges, they also shake a couple of times, then it settles. So Sri Ramakrishna says, those who have love and faith in God, they may get somebody died or some bad things happen or some accident. They get a few jerks, but they settles very quickly. Maharaj did not like this Paraninda Paracharcha, criticizing and gossiping and all these things. He hated. If somebody does that time in his room, stop, not here. One day he scolded me. I see you will never be able to be a monk. Sangsar doshi. Nobody is perfect. I remember one monk told me, কম্বলের লোম বাসলে কম্বলই থাকবে না. If you check the thread of the blankets one after another, then there will be no blanket. Nobody, no human being is perfect. We have come here to attain perfection. Moreover, when you see fault in others, that means those faults are within you. Criticism. All right, up to this tonight. Swami Adbhutananda used to say, it is better to sleep than to have gossip. There are some books here, Stories of the Vedanta Monks, Volume 1. If anybody wants to buy, can buy it here, from here.
When will Volume 2 come, Swamiji?
Volume 2, my work is done now. It has gone to my editor to edit. Thank you.